Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session today, let us learn how to draw a hexagonal nut and hexagonal bolt. This video has two parts. The part 1 video is about drawing of hexagonal nut. Part 2 is uh, drawing of hexagonal bolt. Let's get into the session. For the purpose of demonstration, I have brought a hexagonal nut here. The flat surface this flat surface of the nut is called as flat. So a hexagonal nut has 6 flat surfaces on its periphery, and in between two flat surfaces there is a corner. This portion is called as corner. So a hexagonal nut has 6 faces and 6 corners. In hexa means 6, right? So that's the reason it is called as hexagonal. This portion of the nut is called as nominal or major dia, and it has internal threadings. And this is the distance. This distance is called as thickness of the nut. By convention or by default, this must be equal to the nominal dia or major dia. But if some specific dimensions are given, you can also use that dimension. But by default or by nomenclature, the T means the thickness must be equal to the nominal diameter of the nut. And this portion is called as chamfer. This is particularly provided for the smooth entrance of spanner, or wrenches. If you notice here, the chamfer is provided through a radius. So this is called as chamfer radius. A nut has a chamfer radius on both sides. Right here also you can notice the chamfer, and here also you can notice the chamfer. See, chamfer is provided on both sides. This is because a nut can be used either of the side. You can insert into the bolt in this side or in this side. So that's the reason. But if the designer decided a nut can be used in only one direction, then no problem. You can also draw a nut. With only one side chamfering. This is also possible. This is the spelling of chamfer. Drawing a hexagon is the most important point in drawing the nut. So there are two methods are used to draw a hexagon. First one is width across corners method, and the second one is width across flats method. Width across corners method and width across flats method. In this exercise, we will use width across corner methods to draw hexagonal nut, and we will draw hexagonal bolt using the method width across flats. That will be the part 2. Let's start our session by drawing hexagonal nut by width across corners method. So I have taken a A4 sheet. To draw a hexagonal nut. So let me first do the initial setups, means borderline, title block, bill of materials, and let me plan the sheet first. So I have planned my sheet, drawn the margins and title block, bill of materials column, and in this space I'll write the description. Description means the nomenclature of the hexagonal nut. I'll write it here, the nomenclature. And since actually this title block and bill of materials, according to the rules, the title block and bill of materials column must be completed when you complete the drawing. So I will complete other details when the drawing is completed. So now I have mentioned only the essential details. This is the question. Draw a hexagonal nut of major dia 20 mm using width across corners method. So then this is the projection symbol. We are going to use first angle projection and scale 1:1, and this sentence must be present in all drawings. All means all dimensions are in mm. This is an essential parameter. You have to write it in all drawings. And here I can draw the front view of nut. In this space I can draw the plan means top view of the nut. And here I can use the this space I can utilize for left hand side view, which falls on the right side. Then this space I can use to write the nomenclature of the nut. So the nomenclature of hexagonal nut: major or nominal dia of nut, that is 20 mm. So major dia, this is the major dia of the nut, major dia, right. Then thickness of the nut, T, thickness of the nut, that is 20 mm. Then width across corners, means opposite two corners, the distance between the two opposite corners, it is 40 mm. Right. Then width across flats, that is width across flats, that is 1.5d plus 3, that is equal to 33 mm. Then radius of chamfer, means this radius of chamfer is 1.5d, that is 30 mm. And here if you notice, nowhere nowhere I have written mm, because all dimensions are here in mm. Okay, then let me place the views. So drawing a hexagonal portion is most important point in drawing the nut. So let me place the most important and critical things in front view. If this is the front view, then when you look the top view from this side, you can notice, you can see three faces, 1, 2, 3. Right, these three you can see from the top view. And then side view, the left hand side view, see here, the left hand side view, if you see from here, you can see 1, 2, two faces. But for the top view, you can see 1, 2, 3. Right. So the hexagonal portion will be the front view, and the top view, my top view will be like this, shows the three faces. And then the side view, let me move to here, side view, only two faces, but the top view here is three faces. And also you can notice one more thing, when the three faces are shown, see, you can notice the chamfer, it is at 30 degree. You can notice the chamfer on this side, yes, right, chamfer, 30 degree chamfer, you can notice. But at the same time, when you see two faces, you can't notice the chamfer, same chamfer, it is straight. Notice it carefully, there is no chamfer when you see the two faces. There is no chamfer. We must specify this in the drawing. That is the most important thing of drawing the hexagonal nut. Okay, let's proceed to draw the drawing. Okay, so at a convenient place, let me draw a base horizontal line. and I mark a point as a center, right? Okay, then let me draw a vertical line from the same place by keeping this as a center. Actually, these lines must be light. These lines must be lighter than any other line, but for the sake of visibility I have made it dark. Let me take the D in compass. Now the D is 20 mm, right? Let me take 20 mm in compass. Then by keeping it here, let me draw a circle. I'm going to draw a circle by keeping this as a center, this point as a center. Then without changing the radius of this circle, or taking the radius of this circle, means the 20 mm, I have taken it in compass. Keep it at the point of intersection, and draw an arc like this on both sides, of this horizontal line. Similarly, do it here. Right. So what I am going to do now, let me connect these points. Let me connect these 2 points by a line. Let me tell you a tip to sharpen the pencil. To sharpen the pencil, take a light emery, fine emery sheet. Just rub it simply. Just rub it along. This is the best way to sharpen your pencil than the sharpener. Let me draw the lines. One, and then connect these 2 points. So the required hexagon is ready. Now take this dimension, width across flats, that is 1.5D in the plus 3 mm, that is 33. 33 means half of that, it's 16.5. Take 16.5 using compass and draw a circle, draw a concentric circle by keeping this as the center. Now this portion represents the chamfered portion. This portion represents the chamfered portion. Actually, if everything is done correctly, this circle must exactly coincide with the middle point of this line. Middle point of, like this, like here, here. This is aligned perfectly. So now I am going to draw the thread portion of this. It has of this nut. It has internal threading. So the internal thread, I am going to represent the internal threading now. So for that purpose, take the major or nominal dia. Nominal dia is 20. So half of it, the radius means 10 mm. 10 mm radius. Take the 10 mm radius using compass. Draw a circle of intermittent line, 3/4 of a circle. Draw a 3/4 of the circle. Now 2 mm lesser than this, the radius diameter must be 2 mm, or you can also take a radius 2 mm lesser than this radius. Draw a complete circle. Right. Now the front view is ready. Let me draw the top view. So I have drawn the projection lines. From the edges. So now we can draw the front view. To draw the top view, thickness is the key dimension to draw the top view. So I have drawn a horizontal line here up to this edge, up to this corner, these two corners. These are the distance between the distance across the corners, width across the corners, right? And then the height must be the thickness of the nut. Thickness of the nut is 20 mm. This is the front view skeleton. So the dark lines are the required lines. So from this skeleton, we have to develop the other views. We have to develop the other parts. Mark the center line, and this point where the center line and this visible line intersects. Mark these 2 points, 1 and 2. Then take the compass. Now we are going to mark the chamfer. So the radius of chamfer is 1.5d, that is equal to 30 mm. Means the radius, 30 mm radius. So mark the 30 mm radius here. Keeping the radius 30 mm, mark here. Then mark an arc, draw an arc like this. This is the chamfer radius. Similarly, at this point, from this point, mark a radius, then now draw a line like this. This arc cuts this vertical line at these points, at these 4 points. So connecting those points and this line, make a lighter line, that is kind of projection line. Similarly here, mark a point at these points, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then draw using the protractor. Mark 30 degree in this direction. In this direction it must be 30 degree. 30 degree. And for this direction, for this side, must be 30 degree. Similarly here, so these 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I am going to do, by freehand sketching, I'll connect it like this. This can be connected by, I'll connect this point and this point through this line by freehand sketching. You can also use your French curves, or freehand sketching is better. So the freehand sketching is completed. Now these 4 point, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can notice there is a small triangle. These triangles we are not to be present here. So you can delete these triangles, these 4 triangles. So I have erased the portions. Now dark the required portions only. So after erasing the 4 corners, we can get the required shape of nut. Right? So here the chamfer is very clearly visible. Front view, top view. Then now we can proceed to, or we can project the left hand side view, which falls on the right hand side. Now let me draw the left side view which falls on the right side. So in left side view we can see only two faces of this nut. So these two faces only will be visible in left side view. Let me project the left side view by using both top view and front view. So the side view is projected from top view, first one, and it intersects with the line from the front view. So the required lines are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let me dark the required lines. Then the next step is how did we draw the 30-degree lines in the front view and the top view. We have to do the same thing here at the four corners. At the four corners the 30-degree lines are drawn. Now connect this end with this end by freehand sketching. Okay, it's connected. Now you don't have to delete these corners like we did in the top view. You don't have to delete these corners. Why? Because in the beginning of this session we have discussed this end is also visible in this view, right? So just recall the point and then dark the all the required lines, then the view will be completed. Now all the three views are completed. We can dimension and we can fill these columns. We can complete the drawing. So now the dimensions are done. Dimensions, title block information are completed. Then bill of material is also completed. So now the drawing is completed. Okay. Then I have another one doubt. Is it necessary that only we have to keep the hexagonal portion in front view? There is no such rule. You can also keep any other orientation also like this. Right, you can also keep any other orientation, or if you want to show some particular view, then you have the choice. You have the choice to change the orientation. And also in machine drawing, you can also, for example, in this drawing, we have marked the angle of the chamfer 30-degree, right? But here I wanted to show it because this is very short, so I wanted to show it separately. So you can also mark it like this. Even you can also give some code like AB, like some code A, B. Then you mark here. This is also possible. Like this coding is also possible, right? I hope you have got the basic idea of how to draw the hexagonal nut. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you. This threaded portion, you can also use both circles continuous, concentric continuous circles. You need not show one ends hidden. You can use both circle continuous, visible line, and when your drawing is completed, erase the circle which surrounds the hexagon. Erase it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.